Have you ever wondered why some people in relationships crave closeness, while others pull away, and while some feel comfortable no matter what is happening in their relationship? The answer may come down to attachment styles, a psychological framework that explains how early relationships shape the way we connect with others as adults. As always, I'm Dr. Alex J. Holte, and this is Social Psychology Now. Today we're breaking down the 4 attachment styles: preoccupied, dismissive-avoidant, dismissive-fearful, and secure, and how each one shows up in relationships. If you found this information interesting, I strongly recommend that you subscribe and like this video. Maybe even throw out a comment about what your favorite part of what the video was. I'm going to be having multiple videos about each of the respective attachment styles, as well as some research connections to peer-reviewed research studies to give you more understanding of how these specific attachment styles look like in the real world. So, you might be asking yourself, what is attachment? Attachment theory originated with John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, who showed that humans are biologically wired to seek closeness, especially under stress. Over time, we formed internal working models, which basically, as displayed on this graph here, based on how you answer each of these 2 questions, that will basically determine how you process different relationships, social relationship stimuli. So, first question is, can I rely on others? And am I worthy of love? So based on your responses to those 2 questions, that will basically put you in a specific attachment style. These models do not disappear in adulthood, as they quietly shape who we are attracted to, how we handle conflict, and how safe closeness feels. So a lot of times researchers study attachment in infants and children, as they know that the attachment styles the attachment style you have as a child is going to be the attachment style that shows up as an adult. We'll talk about a quick exception to that rule towards the end of the video, so make sure you will continue watching. Generally, attachment is studied in developmental psychology courses for that reason, because they know that attachment styles are going to impact how happy you are in life, how satisfying your relationships are, things along those lines. I like to study attachment as a social personality researcher, as well as I like to have the information provided to my students in my social psychology course. So now let's briefly talk about each of these 4 attachment styles, starting with preoccupied attachment. So individuals with preoccupied attachment, they score very high in attachment anxiety. Preoccupied attachment is characterized by a strong desire for closeness paired with a fear of abandonment. People with this style often worry about being rejected, read deeply into texts or tone changes, seek reassurance frequently, as well as feel emotionally activated in relationships. At the core belief, they will have the thought that I need closeness to feel safe, but I'm not sure they will stay. So ironically, many of the behaviors meant to keep their partners close, like over-checking, protesting, rumination, can sometimes push partners away. This style often develops in environments where caregiving was inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes unavailable. Dismissive-avoidant attachment. Dismissive-avoidant attachment looks very different. In this form of attachment, these individuals value independence over intimacy. They often feel uncomfortable with emotional closeness. Common traits include discomfort relying on others, emotional distance, minimizing relationship needs, and shutting down during conflict. The internal message for these individuals is, I am fine on my own, I do not need anyone. And this style often develops when emotional needs were dismissed or discouraged in early life, leading to self-reliance as a survival strategy. So with my doctoral dissertation, which we talked about during the first video of Social Psychology Now, I had to recruit participants of these 4 attachment styles. I had very few dismissive-avoidant individuals, and this can be characterized by the nature of how they don't want close relationships necessarily. And when you have when the sample is of individuals in dating relationships of 3 months or more, it's very difficult to find these dismissive individuals because they generally do not care to have relationships. So I think in total we had 67 or 68 different dismissive-avoidant individuals out of the entire sample of 505. So that was one of the challenges of my dissertation, was getting those dismissive individuals to take this survey. And importantly, avoidant individuals, they still have these attachment needs. They just use a deactivated form of attachment. As we talked about in the first video, people with a preoccupied form of attachment, they have a hyperactive form of attachment, often looking for signs that their relationship may be ending, so they can have time to fix it in their minds before they lose their partner, in that sense. Next, we have a very interesting one, one that I myself would like to learn more about, which this being fearful-avoidant attachment. Fearful-avoidant attachment is the most complex. It involves wanting closeness while fearing it at the same time. People with this style may crave intimacy but distrust it, alternate between pursuit and withdrawal, feel overwhelmed by emotions, as well as struggle with self-worth and trust. Here the internal conflict is, I want closeness, but closeness doesn't feel safe. This pattern is often linked to early experiences where caregivers were both a source of comfort and fear, leading to confusion rather than a consistent strategy. As adults, it can feel like emotional whiplash in relationships. So again, both these dismissive forms of attachment, they both essentially, to some degree, avoid close relationships. And the key thing that can differentiate these two attachment styles is fearful-avoidant individuals, they want relationships, whereas dismissive individuals, they tend to not see relationships being a very worthwhile endeavor. Lastly, we have secure attachment, which after hearing the joys of those previous three attachment styles, you're probably going to be happy to know that you likely have a secure attachment. Depending on what survey you look at, they say on average 55 to 60% of people have a secure attachment. So secure attachment is marked by comfort with intimacy and autonomy. Securely attached individuals tend to communicate needs clearly, trust their partners, regulate their emotions effectively, as well as handle conflict without escalation or withdrawal. Their core belief is I am worthy of love and others are generally reliable. Secure attachment usually develops from consistent, responsive caregiving. You might be thinking to yourself, Dr. Holte, I don't really like my attachment style. Am I screwed? Am I going to have this attachment style the rest of my life? And the correct answer is no. You are not screwed. Research shows that attachment styles can shift through repeated secure experiences, increased emotional awareness, learning to regulate one's threat responses, and relationships with securely attached partners. Awareness is the first step, and that's why understanding attachment matters. So if you're in a new relationship, I would strongly encourage you and your partner or partners to complete the experiences in close relationships measure and to determine what your attachment style is and be open about what your attachment style is. By doing this, you can understand what are different boundaries or difficulties that you might have in a relationship based on the prior knowledge of what these attachment styles are conceptualized as. Found this helpful? Please like, subscribe. This is a new channel. We appreciate all support. And also comment which attachment style you want me to dive in further for the next video. This has been Social Psychology Now, where science meets the mind. Thank you for watching and have an elite day.